Today we step into the studio of Aunt Magda Ceramics. Renée Lagacé is the human behind the Aunt Magda Muse. She has been working in ceramics for 6 years. Her studio at Séries Habitantes is a delightful mix of grey and teal, order and chaos, productivity and tea. We're featuring Renée's tumblers in Séries Habitantes' first monthly series. In this interview, we explore her ceramic technique of hand building, some of her artistic inspirations, and how she envisions her products entering your home.
When I was in school, I learned all of the techniques. So I learned hand building, throwing, and mold making. And I really enjoyed all of those techniques, as much for sculptural work as for functional work. And when I got out of school, I was doing a collection that was thrown as well as hand built and a little bit of everything. And slowly I started to be more attracted towards hand building. One of the major factors that influenced me to start doing exclusively hand building was a problem that I developed in my shoulder. So it was either hand build or stop doing ceramics. So I decided to figure out a way to make my whole collection hand built, and that's sort of been a little part of my journey. Yeah. So I guess I can start with this cup. So it's also a cup that I used to throw, and a texture that I developed when I was in school, but sort of mutated through the different successions of pieces throughout the years. And I figured out a way to hand build it, and for me, well, for a lot of people, it evokes a strong sense of water and movement, and I think I've been very inspired by my love for nature and just observing nature and its raw and unconstrained beauty. And the way that I construct these pieces is that I take little bits of clay and I sort of put them all together on a mold, and then I create this really strong texture with my tool. And that sort of like helps me come to terms with some of the tensions within clay, because in a lot of pottery, we want to have something really sleek and streamlined and smooth, you know, and I just kind of wanted to take out some of my aggression and work with that possibility in the clay, that it can be kind of messy and rough and raw and wild. So I think the bottom of the cup really speaks to that, and my need to express that, and just kind of flowing into the top of the cup where it's a little more gentle and still undulated and moving, but obviously still useful to drink out of. So yeah, and the cup was the first piece in that series, and then I sort of decided, since they were really popular, to expand that into sort of some more bowls and tea bowls and different shapes and sizes. I really like to imagine my pieces in other people's homes and how they might place them and what those homes might look like. And I think because of the nature of my work and the hand-built aspect, which necessarily creates variations in each work in an unpredictable way, much more so than in throwing, where you can make it look exactly the same if you want to. Specific little divots and patterns that are on each cup that each person might become familiarized with it as they touch it and use it and look at it and feel it on a day-to-day basis, I think will really become their own. Having this studio and specifically has been incredible for just the ability to produce at any time, and sort of that stability that is available to me, and also sharing it with my colleague who also works here has been a huge help, because we divide the costs and we share a lot of aspects in the studio. So I think that's been key to some of my success. When I first started, I was very keen on doing the best that I could do, doing the most that I could do, being extremely productive and on it. And I wasn't really listening to my natural rhythms and my being careful to preserve my body. And so I sort of basically had a burnout after the first year. After the first big show that I did, it was I completely shut down, because I didn't have any more energy, and I just put everything that I had into it, and I wasn't careful about taking care of myself. And that's at that point where I started reevaluating my whole career path in this field, in pottery.